Hey guys, Fight Mike here, back with another video. Today we're going to be discussing the UFC 316 main event, Sean O'Malley vs Merab Jumping straight into it, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit worried for Merab in this one. When this fight initially was announced, I thought he would win. I thought it would be similar to the first fight, and in the first fight I actually picked him by decision. And when the fight first came out, I thought it would be much the same. But thinking about it further, I actually have come to a different conclusion, which is I reckon that Sean O'Malley is going to take this one, and I think he's going to win by KO. And here is why. I reckon style-wise, these two, Sean O'Malley being a sharpshooter and Merab is a round winner, the styles are already pretty difficult. Like, I think if you're putting them against each other 10 times, they'll each win 5 of them. By giving Sean O'Malley a rematch, though, it helps his style because it gives him 25 minutes more to find his chin and to actually find that shot to KO him, whereas you're giving Merab another 25 minutes where he has to try and win a majority of that, which I feel like might be a more difficult task against these top-level guys, especially since Sean is one of those guys that do actually have that one-shot KO power. And if you watch the last fight, in the 5th round, Sean O'Malley realizes that he won't get taken down every time he kicks. So he's going to kick a little bit more in this fight, and I think he's going to lead to Merab dropping his hands a little bit more. And I could see him being a bit more spazzy, getting a bit more hurt. And I reckon that Sean is going to be able to hurt him a little bit sooner into this fight and actually finish. Another reason why is that Merab has been saying the most crazy things recently. He's been saying that Sean O'Malley's going to defend all of his takedowns, which if you're betting on him, you don't want to hear him say that. And he's going to say he's saying he's going to try his striking on him. I know that everyone's going to be like, no, he's not going to try it, and I don't think he will. But what's interesting is I saw Bilal recently did an interview with Jason Anik, John Anik's brother, and he said that he had spoken so much about his striking improving and how he wanted to test it out that he actually ended up just listening to himself during that fight, and he almost spoke it into existence. I don't think Merab will do that, but I think that he might grapple less, and that won't help him at all in this matchup. And I think he's going to strike more to prove a point. Another thing that he said is that he's struggling for motivation to face Sean as an opponent, and for someone as dangerous as Sean, you can't be struggling at all for motivation because this is going to be a tough fight no matter what. People are really underestimating Sean in this one just because of how the first fight went, but I think that if they rewatch it, you'll see that it's actually quite a close fight. Another one is obviously the toe injury that you'll be able to see on the top left corner of the screen. Looks like a broken toe there. It looks similar to what Conor McGregor pulled out to Michael Chandler with. But I think that this is a pretty bad injury to be posting and letting everyone know about. And I think it's just a bad injury to come in with. And especially to tell us about, like, honestly, if he came in with this injury and didn't tell anyone, I think it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But because he's telling everyone and broadcasting this, I don't think that this is going to help him at all. So in his last fight with Sean O'Malley, he had a cut just below his eye, and he posted it on Instagram, and everyone flamed him for that. But the thing is with the cut on the eye is that, like, you have to be Sean O'Malley would have to be pretty skilled, and he's trying to hit that spot actively, but he's going to be doing that anyway. It's not like another extra body part to actually target. Whereas when he's in the clinch now with this foot, he's going to know he can stomp on that foot and it's actually going to be damaging. Like, he's got more options now. With the other injuries that Merab's posted, it's not been that big of a deal. You can't target that. Whereas this one, you actually can. I think the Merab was only thinking, oh, I'm not a kicker. I'm fine to post this. But Sean O'Malley actually can try and foot stomp him against the cage, like if he gets brought up against it. So I hope we see him utilize that. And the other thing is that if he tries to counter wrestle or at least defend takedowns, being able to push onto that side, knowing what foot it is, it looks like the right foot. If he can push onto that side, he's not going to be as strong. It obviously depends which side he's pushing from to begin with, but I think it's just not a good injury to tell everyone, to like broadcast to the universe. So in saying that, I think all the odds are stacked against Merab this time, and he does this each fight. He stacks all the odds against him. But I think that it's finally going to catch up with him. Like, it caught up to Tony Ferguson eventually, and I think Merab is one of these crazy guys like Tony Ferguson. So I think that this is actually going to be where it comes crumbling down, or my prediction could be. I really didn't think that I'd be making this, but I rewatched the first fight, and now I'm rethinking things and seeing all this business that he's posting around and seeing the foot. No, I think he's losing this one. Thank you for tuning in. Tune in for the next one. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know if you want to see anything next. Peace.